mean, Fairy Steel, what an incredible typing. Fantastic typing. If Zacian taught us anything, it was that this typing is busted broke. Pinkaton and Zacian are the only Steel Fairy type Pokemon. Apparently, Mawile and Clefairy just don't exist.
I've made a mistake, and in today's video, I intend to atone for it. For those who don't know, I have made several videos ranting about Pokemon. It's kind of what I do. And in those videos, I have mentioned the Fairy Steel typing not just once, but twice. And the first time I mentioned it, I forgot to mention Mawile and Klefki. So I made sure to mention them the second time I brought up the Fairy Steel typing. It was here, in this moment, that my grave error occurred. Neither time did I mention the mechanical marvel herself. The magical mythical Pokemon known as Magearna. Y'all called me out. Rightfully so. I would have called me out too. I don't know what went wrong along the way or what brain cells I might have lost inside of here, but I don't know what would have happened to cause me to forget such an incredible Pokemon such as Magearna. This diva deserves the entire world, and I didn't provide that for her. So that's exactly what I'm here to do today. Today's video is a tribute to all things Magearna so that we may all see her majesty that she is, and that the world and myself will never forget it ever again. Is this video made for entirely joke and meme purposes? Yeah, but the point still stands that Magearna deserves all of the love and attention that she is going to be getting in today's video. And I wish that I had more chances to use one because I have actually never used or owned a Magearna in my entire Pokemon life. Magearna has a wonderful design, is fantastic in battle, and also has an interesting storyline. I mean, what could you possibly ask for anything more out of a mythical Pokemon? A fun fact about Magearna is that it was actually the very first Generation 7 Pokemon to ever be introduced, and I think that that is a crazy fact to know because Magearna isn't really a Pokemon that I usually associate with Alola. It's just not one that I think about really goes with it. The fact of the matter still stands. The diva was so fierce that she's the first Pokemon of all of Alola that we had to see. And honestly, I can see why. Magearna's Pokedex entry states that it was built around 500 years ago by a scientist as a gift for a royal family, and I can absolutely see that type of vibe going on with her design. Magearna resembles a sort of automaton creature in the sense of it is a machine that works entirely on itself rather than it being some sort of android creature, and this is also shown in the fact that it operates because of its soul heart. The mechanical body is more of a vessel for the soul heart that is inside itself, which is mostly what Magearna is inside the soul heart. This is an artificial soul that was created from taking life energy from other Pokemon, and that does sound incredibly evil and scary, but it actually worked out for the best for Magearna because it made Magearna extremely caring and empathetic for all other creatures and Pokemon. I think that's the entire reason that they made it look like a nursemaid in its design, is because it's just a naturally caring and giving Pokemon. I have always been a fan of characters and creatures that are designed to mix mechanical with the magical, and I think that Magearna does a fantastic job of being both, and it has a very fitting and interesting storyline to match it, which is more than I can say for some other mythical Pokemon that may not get that much of an interesting storyline. Also, Magearna to me does feel like a mythical Pokemon because I think mythical should feel rarer than a legendary, because mythical Pokemon, there really should only be one of them that exists unless expressly told otherwise. And for Magearna, it is human-made and there is only one of them. This does get a little bit confusing because there are several different color variations and versions of Magearna, but hey, this diva was so fierce that one form was not enough. She also has really good and solid reasons for why these forms exist, with the original color Magearna being what it looked like when it was first created, with a more gold and red tone, and then over the years it has faded and turned into the gray and pink that we normally see it as. And then there's shiny Magearna, which is like black and gold, and I love this color scheme. It looks great, it's just, it doesn't really make sense when you think about it. And also, I don't think, as far as I know, it has ever been attainable for anybody to actually get, but you know, that's besides the point. This color palette of black and gold is just so stunning that I don't even care. I'm just jealous that I don't currently have one. Again, I think that the concept of this Pokemon changing colors over time and there being an original color to what it currently looks like is a great idea, because mechanical things like this over time obviously would start running differently and looking differently, and so I really like that they did something like this. It makes it more realistic in a way. You can tell that they actually put a lot of thought and care into making Magearna. Magearna was so iconic and amazing that it literally was given a special feature in an entire movie in Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel. It's in this movie where we get to see the visual of Magearna's storyline, with it being created by by a scientist and given as a gift to a king and the royal family, and we get to see all of the cool little cute Magearna stuff inside of it, and I actually kind of enjoyed this film. Maybe it's because I feel like Magearna and Volcanion are both actually really good mythicals, and so I love the fact that they gave them a movie like this. I think it's really fun. But talking about Magearna's abilities in battle, let's talk about the fact that its ability is insane. Soul Heart is essentially Moxie, but for special attacks, and I can't believe that this is something that we actually have, and this is crazy. It's a good thing that this is just limited to Magearna, because if this was an ability that we were just handing out to Pokemon like Moxie, woof, I would be absolutely terrified, and it's no wonder that I'm not involved in competitive Pokemon, because this would be crazy. As well as a signature ability, it also has a signature attack being Fleur Cannon, and this is a fairy type move that does massive amounts of damage. As a huge fan of the fairy type myself, I love when these fairy types are just coming out and completely wrecking and destroying everything on the field and are kind of monsters. I absolutely love to see it. Magearna is just an adorable little diva, and we love everything about her, and then she comes out onto the field and absolutely decimates. It is chef's kiss. She eats and leaves not a single crumb on the battlefield. But I bet you that you're wondering, Dominic, where can I get one of these Magearna? Where can I get them? Where can I obtain them? Because as we all know, mythical Pokemon sometimes are a little bit tricky. Not the easiest things to obtain. Well, today is your lucky day, gamers. There's actually a bunch of QR codes out there on the internet that I just discovered for myself that you can obtain Magearna in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon just by using these QR codes with the in-game scanning function. How come I had no idea this existed? Why did no one tell me? I just spent all this time never being able to use a Magearna, and here we are with QR codes just being able to obtain one. I feel lied to, I feel betrayed, and maybe if I had known these QR codes existed and I actually got to use Magearna at some point in my life on a team, on a playthrough, on a Pokemon battle run, maybe I wouldn't have been a dum-dum and forgotten that Magearna even existed to begin with. Okay, I'm not gonna blame this on the QR code. That's not fair. It was all me. Okay, I am taking the accountability. I was a dum-dum. I was a silly. I forgot about Magearna, and I feel awful about it. I feel absolutely ashamed that I forgot such a fabulous diva such as her. You also can get an original color Magearna in Pokemon Home, and I think this is the only way to get original color Magearna, and this is by completing all of the decks from the beginning to Eternatus, pretty much almost completing all of the national decks, and that's a pretty big ask. It's definitely something I want to do at some point in my Pokemon career, but it's not something that I am currently doing, because I feel like that would take a lot of time. But hey, one day, I will get that original color Magearna, and girl, she will be fabulous. Did I really just make an entire video today talking about how great Magearna is and how I feel bad about forgetting it because of how amazing Magearna is? Yes, I absolutely did, and I don't regret it, because I had a lot of fun actually talking about Magearna, and I think that it's kind of fun doing these little like one-off solo videos talking about Pokemon that I appreciate. I did it before with another Fairy Steel type Pokemon, actually, Tinkaton. That's actually where this crazy spiral even started, is because I made a whole video talking about Tinkaton, which you should definitely go check out if you are also a fan of a Steel Fairy type Pokemon, just like this video. But that video started this whole thing of me forgetting it, and now here we are. Everything from that day forward has led to this moment here to talk about this fabulous Pokemon. Let me know down in the comment section below if you like Magearna. Have you ever used it? Do you enjoy it? Do you think it's a good mythical Pokemon? Let's just celebrate all things Magearna today. That's what we're doing here today. I even wore some gray just to match Magearna. Granted, it's not the same color gray, but you know, the thought was there. I actually was planning on wearing a pink shirt for today's video, but for some reason, I don't know where all my pink shirts went. Like, I went scouring through my closet and I couldn't find any of them. I don't know where they are. So we got the gray shirt today instead. But as always, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this short little rant video about Magearna, and I once again apologize for ever forgetting that it existed. I will never do it again, I promise. I guess my brain just operates in crazy ways. I really couldn't explain it. This one's for you, Magearna. Bye!